Good morning, everybody. What is going on? So today I wanted to talk to you about my Bergara B14 Wilderness Ridge. I got to hunt with it last season. I've had it about a year now, so I feel like I can give you an honest review on this rifle. So I want to give you a good couple side views so you guys can see it up close. Go slow so the camera can focus. We'll do a review on the rifle scope that's on it later. I'm not too concerned about telling you about the scope. I just want to tell you about the rifle. Let's make sure we get you a nice... It's all beat up on the bolt here. Haven't dropped it yet. That's just from walking and banging it on stuff. Okay, so there's the driver's side. Let me flip it. Hold tight. Okay, so I flipped it for you to see the passenger side. So it is dirty. I took it out to the range yesterday. I mean, it's a real clean, really nice looking gun. I like the barrel coating on it. I like the camo on it. I like the muzzle brake on it. So let me flip it on the bottom side so you can see the hinge plate and everything. Hold tight. So I have no way to support it, so hold tight. There we go. So your studs, the Bergara emblem. You got Bergara on the base plate. I'm just holding it with my hand. You got your seam all the way down. That's kind of, I mean, for aesthetic reasons, that's the only knock on this gun, is just that seam going down the rifle stock. Whoops, sorry about that. I was taking my eyes off. So let me get the camera mounted and we can get the gun, the rifle set up in a different position here. So hold tight. Okay, so this is pretty much the best I can do here. I don't really have a good way to show you the whole rifle mounted up and whatnot in a full view, you know. So we'll just show you the action here. So about this rifle, this is in the 6.5 PRC cartridge. Irritates me when they're like, what caliber is it? It's a 264 or 6.5 millimeter. No, you know, is it a Creedmoor or what is it? That, you know, that's a cartridge, guys. The caliber is 6.5 millimeter or 264, and the cartridge is a 6.5 PRC. I really like the PRC. I mean, I really like all 6.5 millimeters or 264 caliber, like 6 millimeter stuff. I would not hesitate shooting an elk with this rifle. If I ever get a moose tag again, I wouldn't hesitate shooting a moose with this gun. Honest to goodness with you. So let's give you some specs on this rifle, and then we'll talk about my personal stuff. So the overall weight of this rifle, depending on what caliber it's in, is anywhere between 7.4 and 7.9 pounds. Overall length, again, per caliber, it will range between 39.5 inches to 46 inches. The barrel length, per what model it is 20 to 26 inches. The barrel taper is 5. Muzzle thread, you know, 5/8 by 24 inches. So they call this, the Cerakote coating on this, their sniper gray. I do like that a lot. It seems to be pretty scratch resistant so far. It does have the hinged floor plate. This particular one, I can fit 3 bullets in the mag area and 1 in the chamber. Let's see, any good? It does. This rifle does have the Bergara performance trigger, and the scope mounts on these guys are Remington Model 700 style, and this particular one came with 6x48 screws. Some of them come with 8x32, I believe, but this particular one came with the 6x48. Now, this rifle, you can find this rifle here anywhere between $8.99 and $1,100. Some of the models has a detachable magazine. Some have the shorter barrel. Some have the adjustable comb on the stock. This is just the one I wanted. That's just what I wanted. Some of them actually have a nice fluted bolt, fancy bolt on this thing. This is just the plain Jane bolt, nothing fancy. And like I said, it is dirty. before we get more into the rifle, let's do a quick trigger pull on this thing. I've never checked the trigger pull on this until this morning, because we took it out to the range yesterday because I want to start working up another load. Everybody sees the gun's empty. I already opened the hinge plate. There's nothing in this action. And my buddy shot it and he goes, man, that kind of scared me how easy that thing went off. So 3 pounds, 1.8 ounce. Earlier today when I was checking it, I was at 2 pounds, 13 ounces. So, you know, it all depends on where you're at and on the trigger, and there's very little creep to this gun. And if I reset the action here, very little creep to this. 2 pounds, sorry guys, I'm not used to having the camera like this. 2 pounds, 9.2 ounces. So it's a great trigger. For hunting, I'm a 2 to 3 pound trigger guy. You guys, I've had lots of comments. I'm a trigger snob. I talk too much about the trigger. Well, there's only 3 things you control, guys, when you buy a firearm. You can control how it feels, how the trigger feels, and the sights. That's it. Once you purchase that firearm, you can do all the modifications you want. But once you purchase that firearm, or before you purchase it, when you're at the gun store, everybody does the same thing. They pick up a gun, they look down a rifle without no scope or sights on it, and they're like, wow, this feels good. Okay. And then they test the trigger. You know? And that's it. That's all you can control before purchase. So I like to let you guys know about the trigger as much as possible. Very little creep on this trigger. I do like the hook on it. A lot of triggers are flatter. And this one's a smooth trigger. It doesn't have the lines down it for grip. This is a smooth one. I like that one a lot. Now, like I said, $8.99 to $1,100 for this particular rifle. Things I love about this rifle is a very forgiving rifle. Everything I've tested through this rifle shoots minimum 1 inch. Factory loads, hand loads, 1 inch. Now, I hope I'm not jumping around too much here and confusing you guys. When I purchased this rifle, I took it out to the range and I couldn't get it to group for nothing. I mean, I was shooting 2-3 inch groups. Well, I got to doing some research on it, and some guys had some issues with the muzzle brake on some of their Bergara rifles, as in too big. So I measured the muzzle brake, the opening hole diameter, the diameter of the muzzle brake, and I'll pull this one off so everybody's picking up what I'm throwing down here. And I love this muzzle brake. This is a really extremely, for a Magnum rifle, this thing's a light recoiling rifle. Yes, I know it's only a 6.5 millimeter cartridge, but the original muzzle brake that came on this gun was this hole was like way bigger. So I emailed Bergara and they said, oh yeah, you've got the wrong muzzle brake. So they sent me the correct muzzle brake, and once I screwed that bad boy on, I was getting 1 inch groups no matter what I shot through it. Factory, and the only stuff I could find is just different factory Hornady stuff, and 1 inch groups. It was great. The depressing thing on this rifle is this thing fouls up extremely bad. I did the Bergara recommended muzzle brake in, scrubbed it after the first couple shots. I think it was the first 10, and then they 3-shot groups, scrub it out after each one of those. So I mean, it was a few hours at the range doing the muzzle brake in on this thing, and Hornady bullets foul in this rifle amazingly bad. I mean, absolutely amazingly bad. It's 3 shots and you need to be scrubbing it out. I don't know if there's something burring in the barrel, but let's see. I've tried Barnes bullets in it. It doesn't foul. I've tried Berger bullets in it. It doesn't foul. Hornady bullets, it fouls up super bad. And I'm not knocking Hornady bullets. I enjoy their bullets, but for some reason this particular rifle fouls real good, really bad with Hornady stuff. So I've taken 2 deer with this rifle with hand loads, and let's discuss the hand load, the best hand load stuff I can get out of it. Factory stuff, 1 inch groups, no problem. I mean, it's super forgiving. Everything I've tried through it, it shoots well. So 135 grain Berger Classic Hunter bullets, .388 inch group. That's pretty darn good. Just over a 1/4 inch group. Hornady A-tip. They're match bullets. Just over a 1/2 inch. .549. So just over a 1/2 inch. The bullets I'm using right now for hunting, 156 grain Berger Elite Hunters. The best group I've measured out of it is .429. Just under a 1/2 inch. Hornady ELDX 143 grain bullets, .568, just over a 1/2 inch. So I mean, it's a great shooting rifle, And yesterday we shot it with a suppressor on it, and it even shot tighter than that. I didn't have my micrometer with me, so I didn't get any, or my caliper with me, so I didn't get any measurements on those groups. But it's a extremely forgiving rifle, depending on what ammo you're shooting through it. And hand loads, it shoots exceptionally good. All in all, it's a great rifle. I think I paid right at like $915 for this rifle. This is the most expensive rifle I've ever bought. Beautiful rifle. It's a little heavy for my liking, but I wanted to spend some money on one of the, in my eyes, a topper tier rifle. Because you guys have seen the videos, I'm a budget guy. Do a lot of budget pistol stuff. And budget rifle stuff, but this is the most expensive rifle I've ever purchased. Now the only drawback I see comparing this rifle to anything else is, my guys, don't hate me, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate mail on this, I know it. This rifle doesn't shoot any better than a $400 Ruger American or a $500 Weatherby Vanguard. Don't get me wrong, I love this rifle. I'm going to use this rifle pretty much exclusively for the next, well, forever. I mean, that's why I spent $1,000 on it. It's like I'm going to buy my lifetime hunting rifle and just see how it goes. But if you're really if you're in the market for a hunting rifle, guys, or even just a fun plinking rifle, this gun shoots just as good as a gun half its price. So, not knocking Bergara, great product. In the future, you know, there's some calibers, some cartridges I want to put in my gun collection that they're definitely not going to be in $1,000 platforms just for the rifle. You know, I set this whole thing up because it's like, you know, that's my last hunting rifle I'm ever going to purchase, so I wanted to kind of splurge on it a little bit. But after hunting with this and shooting it for a year, you know, I'll put my Ruger Americans and my Vanguards up to it for quality, number one, and accuracy. You know, no bells and whistles on this gun. I mean, out of the box, this is the best trigger I've ever had. Straight out of the box, fantastic. So that, you know, that's the only thing I can say that spending $1,000 versus $400 to $500 got me, was a great trigger, instead of spending another $200 on a Timney or something. But all in all, it's a great rifle, guys. I just wanted to tell you my experiences with it and help you guys spend your money accordingly. It's a beautiful gun. You can't go wrong with the name. If you guys got any comments, please put them down below. Keep them respectful. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate on this one just because of, you know, comparing it to some cheaper rifles. Great gun. You can't go wrong with it. But compared to guns half its price point, you can't go wrong with those either, guys. So also in the comments, you know, mention some gun reviews you guys would like to see. Please like and subscribe, and you guys have a fantastic Sunday. I'm going to put some shooting videos after this. It was kind of hard to do shooting videos with this. I'm still trying to get that figured out. But it's a hoot to shoot. It's a blast. That cartridge, the 6.5 PRC, does fantastic. You guys enjoy your weekend. We'll see you later. Good afternoon, y'all. What's going on? Today, we're going to do a little something different. No pistol today. Today, I brought out my Bergara B14 Wilderness Ridge. I know it's in the shadow here. At the bench, we'll get a better look at it. But this is my B14 Wilderness Ridge. I've got it topped with a Vortec Viper PST 5x20 5x50 in second focal plane, and we'll talk about that at home on the bench. And I'll give you more specs at home. But I wanted to come out. I want a hand load for this rifle, and I want to use a different bullet. I'm loading Bergara bullets right now for it, or Berger bullets, however you guys like to pronounce it. But I wasn't satisfied with the performance of that bullet. So brass is really hard to find, and I had 100 of those Bergers loaded up, or Bergers loaded up, however you pronounce it. And I want to start loading some barns for this thing. I've shot, God, I couldn't tell you how many big game animals with barns, maybe 200 of them. Pronghorn deer, a couple elk, bear, and never had a problem with Barnes bullets. So let's get all set up, do a little shooting, and then we'll get back to the bench. We'll give you a trigger pull on this. This thing, no modifications, factory trigger on it, factory muzzle brake. You know, the only thing I added was the rail, rings, and scope. So let's do some shooting, and we'll get back to the house and talk about it. All right, so we're set up. Got a sweatshirt here in case I start getting cold. But on these concrete benches, I'd like to put something back behind my elbow so my elbow don't rub on there. So I got some factory stuff. I just want to burn this last bit of factory stuff up. Haven't even pulled the trigger yet. And the last time I had this guy out was hunting. So I'm zoomed on 5. Get your PPE on, your hearing protection. Maybe I'll show you the difference between factory and my hand loads. Okay, we're gonna let it cool off. I like doing 3 shots, let it cool for a bit. Usually I run a bore brush through there, but yeah, we'll do 3 shots next with hand loads, and we'll check out the difference. Okay. All right, so let's see here. If I remember right, this was factory, this was hand loads, that was factory. And then my buddy showed up with a suppressor, so we threw that on there. And there's factory loads. Here's hand loads. That's two bullet holes there, but I was aiming here. And this is just a bunch of factory, but I was aiming here. And then he shot it, and he did this group, about a 1-inch group, 3/4 inch. And then I shot it. That's definitely a 1/2-inch group. So the gun's definitely capable of doing 1/2-inch group. This bullet hole here, I just shooting it with the suppressor muzzle brake. I was aiming here, and bullets must have been coming up here because I aimed right here, and then that one went there. So I mean, these Bergara rifles are pretty darn good barrels on them, great triggers. But we'll get a better look at it at home on the bench.